Welcome to Mikes and Mayhem with Jenna and Maddie Morrow.
I'm Jenna, and I can communicate with crows.
And I'm Maddie, the Full Metal Alchemist.
We have mics, and as always, we are here to bring you mayhem.
Yes, all of the times. And on behalf of it being Pride Month, we are going to be discussing a few of our personal favorite anime that either fall in the actual genre of LGBTQ or are very heavily implied. But we love these stories very much. And obviously, you can watch them whenever, not just in June.
No, like I said in our last video, you can only consume queer content in June, and you can only be gay in June. Sorry, guys.
we
It's the rules.
actually, if we have coined, I don't know if we've coined this term, but I like to think we're this clever. We're going to call this our Annie Gay video. So trademark
Get
pending. No,
it?
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Because anime,
Anime.
but it's Pride Month.
Get it? Get it, guys? Get it?
You're so clever. Also, Maddie and I don't know what the other person has written down for their recommendations, so it's possible that we might have the exact same list.
I don't think we do because
I don't think so.
I have one at least on my list that you have not even watched yet. So
Yes, same here. I have one that you have not watched as well. So, unless secretly you have.
probably not because I feel like you and I tell each other every time we're watching something. So
That's true. That's true.
all
So,
right.
do
Do
you
you
want
want
to
to go?
start us? Oh, let's go at the same time.
The same time? 1, 2, 3, go. I was gonna
Well,
say, yeah. So who wants to go first?
I
Rock
guess,
paper scissors.
I
I'm
was
just
going to say
kidding.
you can defer to your elder.
Oh, there you go. You can go first. Age before beauty. No, I'm just kidding. You're
Yeah,
beautiful. I'm
that's about
sorry.
right.
That was mean. That was mean. I'm sorry. I don't mean it.
Don't edit that out. Yes, I will go first, and I'm gonna go with one that I'm not sure if Maddie has on the list because it's pretty on brand that I'm gonna say this one. I'm gonna go. My first recommendation is Sasuke and Miyano. I feel like you cannot discuss i- queer content or BL or anything of that matter without discussing Sasuke and Miyano. It is basically I actually read something yesterday when I was looking up. I don't know what I was looking up about it, but I read something and it was a review and it said that it is widely considered the best BL anime and manga because of the way it handles the you know, these tropes that are typically something that could be very skewed in the genre of BL. Sasuke and Miyano flips all that on the head, and it is just pure fluff and some gay angst, which we all love. Gay panic, lots of gay panic, actually, lots of gay panic. And we did discuss this in a video about queer manga, but I would be remiss if I didn't discuss the anime. Um, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, Sasuke and Miyano is about two high schoolers named Sasuke and Miyano. And Sasuke has feelings for Miyano, and he basically puts the ball in Miyano's court and says, like, "Hey, I really like you," but their friendship and relationship starts out because the two of them swap BL manga, and it evolves from there. And it's just watching the two of them navigate their feelings and their friendships, and I just love it so much, right? And I know Maddie likes it too.
Yes, it's so cute. And it's funny because it centers around it's a BL that has BL in it. Like Miano's favorite genre to read is BL, and his whole thing is I don't want my life to become a BL. And then you're like, oh, buddy. Like
You're living it.
you're
Sweet, sweet
living it.
boy.
And it's funny because he's afraid that like people are gonna judge him for reading these stories, and Sasaki just immediately is like, oh, "What are you reading? This sounds really interesting. Like, I want to read this too." And it's so sweet. It's so fun.
It is so sweet, and the thing about the anime that differs from the manga, obviously, like, you're going to have artistic differences since one is comic and one is bringing it to screen in animation, but the anime I adore because the color palette is so it just is reflective of how sweet and cute the show is. It's these, like, really soft pastels, and there's these in the background, you get, like, little hearts, and it's just so cute and so sweet. Like, it could not get any more ridiculously fluffy.
Yep, completely agree. I love it so much.
And big shout out to Kellen Goff, who voices, I mean, both of them are fantastic. Josh Waters and Kellen Goff, but Kellen Goff, oh, I am obsessed with the way he voices Sasuke. It is the cutest thing. He's so cute.
It's adorable. It really is. It's very cute. I remember when it was coming out, I watched it dubbed. I think I watched like the first 2 episodes. They were in the English dub, but then I was impatient and needed to watch it weekly. I could not wait for the 2 weeks, so I ended up watching it every Sunday. I think it came out on Sundays every Sunday when it came out, and then I went back and binge watched it in English, and it's so good.
It's so good, and I love, like, going back to the way he voices Sasuke. He's has this, like, sweet little, like, almost like a silly voice when he's talking to Miyano, and he's soft. He's like, "Hi, Miyano," and then anybody else, he's like, "Don't talk to Miyano," and I just think it's so funny because he's just, like, I just love his character, and Miyano is baby boy. We wanna protect him at all costs. So watch the show.
Yes. So my first recommendation could not be farther from Sasaki and Mina. I mean, I'm sure it could. I'm sure it could be so different, I'm sure. But my first recommendation is actually not labeled a queer story, but it does have queer representation in it. It's Moriarty the Patriot. It is a twist on the Sherlock Holmes story. And James Bond is actually one of the characters, and he is trans. He's a trans man. That's the name he like chooses. He chooses the name James, and he is a trans man. And the other, like, the brothers don't question it, and I'm not going to explain how he ends up, in the story. But it's really cool. Um, and the tension and chemistry between William Moriarty and Sherlock is really intense. And I have been told that in the manga, it's more gay than it is in the anime. Um, and so I know a lot of people who watch Moriarty the Patriot ship William and Sherlock, and for good reason, because at one point Crunchyroll did actually put it in the enemies to lovers category. Like if you're scrolling through Crunchyroll, Moriarty the Patriot was in there. So I'm sure if you guys are anime fans and you are subscribed to Crunchyroll, this is not sponsored by Crunchyroll. Um, but
Sponsor us, Crunchyroll.
whoever does the lists of the certain genres is so clever. Is so clever. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, it's a very like intense story. It's more focused on the Moriarty family versus like being centered on Sherlock Holmes, which is why it's Moriarty the Patriot. And it's really good.
Yeah, I have not watched that one. That's the one you said, right? That you knew I didn't
Mhm.
watch? I've seen, stills and I've heard audios on TikTok, but I have to definitely put that one in my list to watch.
Yeah, it's great. It's 24 episodes, I think, and an OVA. The manga, I'm not sure if the manga is still going. It is a Shonen Jump though. So if you have like the Shonen Jump app and you want to read ahead or whatever, it's a shonen, which is interesting that it's a Shonen Jump manga, but the anime is beautiful. I feel like it's also a very underrated anime. Um, it's one of those like be gay, do crime, be gay, solve crime kind of a story. I put it in what I like to call the gay big three. So you have the gay crime big three anime, which is Bungo Stray Dogs, Moriarty the Patriot, and Case Study of Anitas. Those are like the
Oh, so I'm
three.
picturing like a Venn diagram, and
Yes.
it's like gay vampires, gay crime, and they
Yeah,
overlap in a certain
exactly.
spot.
Yeah, so you have like the big three of anime. You have Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach. This is like the gay crime big three. And Moriarty the Patriot is it there with that because you have the one side where they are doing crime and the other side where, Sherlock is trying to solve said crime. So,
Very true, very
yeah,
true.
yeah.
I thought you were gonna say bungo for your first. I really did. I was waiting for
No.
bungo.
No, I cannot. I'm going to tell you guys this right now. I cannot talk just a little bit about Bungo Stray Dogs. If I get started, we're going to be here forever. So I'm going to stop right now and let Jenna recommend her next one.
Yeah, I'd have to actually walk away and come back in like 45 to 50 minutes and be like, are you good?
That's not an exaggeration either.
No, it's not. So for my second one, I am gonna go with another kind of fluffy, overtly BL, even though I don't think it's technically a BL. Um, it is Yuri on Ice. I
I
feel like
almost put that sorry, I almost put that one on my list, but I was like, "No, there's other ones I want to talk about." But
that
amazing.
one's pretty. It's pretty damn gay. I don't think it gets. I mean, it could get gayer for sure, but for something that's technically not a BL, I I I don't know how it's not. I think, like, it is the most BL non-BL thing ever, but, Yuri on Ice, for those of you who don't know, it is about, an ice skater who is trying to basically, like, revamp his career after a slump, and he hires a Russian coach to come in who also is a top, like, gold medalist skater. Actually, he doesn't hire him, he just shows up and he's like, "I'm gonna train you." I
Yeah,
forgot about
yeah,
that.
he's not really I mean, he's given a choice, but like not
Yeah.
really.
Victor just shows up and he's like, "Hello, I will train you now." And Yuri's like, "Okay, I guess so."
Yep.
So it follows this story of Yuri, gaining this confidence after he had lost it all because he had such a bad loss the previous season and had felt like he really couldn't move forward in the field, and his confidence is shot, and it's actually also a really good depiction of someone suffering from anxiety because Yuri suffers from that due to, his last season. So it's the two of them navigating, uh, enhancing his career and his skills. And it's super gay. They're in love, like, immediately,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that one is definitely there's no subtext at all. Like
No,
0. Like
no.
it's not labeled a BL, but it is, backtracking a little bit to, like, Moriarty the Patriot, that's not, like, the plot of the story, right? It's not a romance, it's the Moriarty family, like, trying to destroy the patriarchy of England, and bringing down, they're trying to destroy the class barriers kind of a thing, but as that happens, there's chemistry between these two characters and they're both incredibly smart and they're trying to outdo each other, that sort of a thing. But in Yuri on Ice, it's it is gay.
It's a romance. It's a
It
romance, and it's there.
Mhm. Oh yeah, totally, totally.
Yeah, it's a romance from of Yuri and Victor as they progress in their friendship. And I mean, like, there's, like, a kiss and everything, even though, I mean, some people do debate that it's not, but if you have seen Yuri on Ice, please weigh in on this because I don't think it's a debate at all. I think it's very clear what happens in that one episode. But we do have friends that say other people have told them, "No, no, no, it's not a kiss." And I don't know how. Like, what are you watching?
Yeah, it yeah,
And
yep.
is also a side character, a very, very cute little, ice twink. We love him. We love a good angry cat boy twink in Yurio, right?
Yes,
He's baby.
he
So yes,
is. I
Yuri on
like him.
Ice, 100% watch it. It's also not heavy on the angst. There is a little bit, but it's a lot of feel goodness. Is that a term?
Yeah. It's one
It
of
is now.
my yeah, it is now. It is, yeah. Again, if Shakespeare can make up words, so can we. Um, so yeah, that one I like rewatch if I need something like feel good with very, very little angst. There's a tiny bit of like they kind of, have different ideas about something, but it gets resolved pretty quick. Unlike honorable mention Skate the Infinity, where you have to wait several episodes for the angst to be resolved. It's not that way in Yuri on Ice.
Yeah, yeah. It's very short lived. Like I don't even think it's a full episode. I think it's like half an episode or something
Yeah,
like
or just
that.
like a conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely not angsty. But so what's your second recommendation? Is it another one that's couldn't be further from Yuri on Ice?
Um, maybe I'll let you be the judge, but my next recommendation is Buddy Daddies.
Oh my god, I can't believe I didn't think of Buddy Daddies.
I adore Buddy Daddies so much. Buddy Daddies is in a way similar to like both Skate and Yuri on Ice in that it's an original anime. There's no manga that goes along with the story. Buddy Daddies is like pretty new as of I think last year, right?
Last year.
Um, and it's about two hitmen assassins, Kazuki and Rei, who accidentally adopted a little girl named Miri. And Kazuki and Rei are like partners in their job. They live in the same house. They have like been together for many years. Rei comes from like a really prominent, like kind of like mafia-ish family where they're like well known in the world of hitmen. And Kazuki is golden retriever bisexual man who like tries to be a ladies man but he's really not because he loves Ray. um and so they accidentally adopt Miri in the process of one of their jobs. Her father ends up dying. I won't say how or anything. But they end up adopting her and then they have to like send her to school, and it's so fun because it walks the line of how to be a parent while having these intense jobs. And it does a really good job of showing both sides of their lives without it feeling forced. So there's like antics of they have to go shopping because she needs clothes, and they have to sign her up for daycare because they can't take her to work with them, like, and it then they show their jobs and they're exhausted and they're staying up because she's sick, or all this back and forth, and then their stuff with their jobs start to suffer, and then they don't want to give up their jobs because they love Miri, and like the family bonding. Um it's very sweet. And there is quite a bit of like sad moments. There were a couple episodes that I was just in tears. But the ending is great. There is only one season, unfortunately. But the English voice actor for Kazuki, and I think Ray as well, can attest that they are married. Like, there's like no doubt that like the two of them are partners, and they refer to each other as partners all the time. They talk about being a family. Like, they don't sugarcoat it as like this is pretending. And so I can confidently say that it's gay.
Yes, I am really mad at myself that I completely forgot about Buddy Daddies. I don't know how I did that. That's a huge misstep on my part, but it is great. It's definitely worth the watch. I don't think it's super long, right? I think it's only like 12 episodes.
Yeah, it's only 12 episodes. It's a one shot
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like, they honestly could do more. They did wrap it up with like, this is kind of spoilery, but they wrapped it up with a time skip. But I feel like they could do more. They probably won't, but it's good. The ending is great. It ends like I'm satisfied with the way that it ended. And that's what fan fiction is for. If you want more.
Yeah, it definitely I agree where the ending is satisfying, and it's nice to see the growth even though you don't see that it during that time skip. Like, I think it's supposed to be 10 years or something like that. So, obviously, you're not with these characters for that time, but, you can see the growth in that, like, epilogue or ending, I don't know exactly what you wanna call it, but either way, I would be happy if it didn't continue because it wrapped it up. However, I want more. I want more of them. It's like Rei and Kazuki are like Lloyd and Yor's friend. They're like buddy daddies and Spy Family crossover, right?
See, I think that they would be friends, but I do not agree with saying Buddy Daddies is just gay spy family because I feel like they are very different stories. Where like,
Oh, very
yeah, in
different.
Spy Family, we do kind of see their work, but it's mostly focused on the fake family and the antics and issues that Anya brings in the school and all this stuff, right? But Buddy Daddies is just a vastly different story. I mean, if you are into Spy Family and want something similar, then yeah, I guess, but I don't compare the two at all.
No, they're just I like to believe that Ray is yours like gay cousin. That would be a good crossover story. They would get along. I mean, that would be fun. But it's Buddy Daddies is great. It was such a fun watch and unexpected because I didn't know much about it besides, when Crunchyroll or whoever is releasing a new anime, they give you the blurb. And I'm like, this looks really good. The preview looked really good. So I was like, I'll give it a try. And it was just from the very first episode, it catches you and it's fast paced, action packed, it's fun, it's angsty, it's got it all. It really does have it all.
It does. Yeah, for sure.
For sure. All right, should I get into my final one?
Yes. What's your final recommendation?
So had a hard time trying to figure out. I had a hard time trying to figure out what to do at the end. However, I'm in the middle of watching one right now that is a BL, and I figured I'd put that on there. And I'm watching Cherry Magic. The full title is Cherry Magic! Exclamation point. 30 years virginity can make you a wizard? Question mark. So A plus title. Let's start right there, right?
Yep.
It's a great title. I am like halfway through the show and I've been like I'd wanted to watch it and everything, but I'm gonna be real. Like I don't usually like sub because I'm too lazy to read, not because of any sub dub like bigger argument, but I don't have the focus to read and pay attention to a story as well. Um, but this one I've been wanting to watch, and it is really good. It's about it's about the main character. His name is Adachi, and he turns 30, and he's a virgin. And I don't know how he puts together that this is why, this happens, but he gets the power to read minds if he touches somebody, like if he makes hand to hand, like, or whatever, skin to skin contact. Um, so he gets that power when he turns 30 because he's a virgin. And he finds out that his coworker, who's this like handsome, like sweet golden retriever guy, is in love with him. So it's the story is following them and following, what's gonna happen. Is he gonna like he obviously knows this guy is in love with him and the guy who's in love with him, his name is Kurosawa, and he's like such a good guy and just wants to do the right thing. He's very like, he's very light haired BL. I don't know how else to put it, like Sasuke, the light haired boy. So yeah, it's just like following that relationship and like what's gonna happen and the miscommunications because I just watched an episode and I mean it's not really spoilery because it's a very light kind of show, but there's this girl in the office who kind of like ships the two of them. But every time Adachi touches her, he only hears part of her train of thought. So she's like, "Oh my god, I love him so much." And then he like lets go of her and the next part of her thought is like, "I love him so much for Kurosawa. So it's like a lot of like silly misunderstandings. It's very cute. Um, and there's also a really cute side couple that I did not expect was going to happen. Um, so it's the main character's friend, also is a virgin and turns 30 and winds up with this power. And he has a cat named Udon, which I really like. I think it's really adorable. Um, so I like this show a lot and I can't wait to finish it.
Nice. I have not watched that one yet. It's on my list of shows, my never-ending list of shows to watch. But I have yet to watch it. I want to, but again, I'm right there with you with the subtitled shows. I have to really be able to focus. And as a parent, it's really hard to watch anime with an ADHD child. If I can't understand what they're saying. But I've seen screenshots, I've seen clips, and it looks really cute.
It's super cute. And I had something else to say about it. Oh, I don't know if they're going to do an English dub, but as a fan of Damon Mills, I know he has like retweeted the pictures and mentioned like, "Oh, I would love to be in more gay anime or BL," and he would be so good, so good as the side character, the friend who winds up with the power. I can just so see him, and I need the English dub to happen, and I need him to be in it. So you heard it here first, folks. If we get an English dub and Damon Mills is in it, count me in, baby.
Yes,
All
amazing.
right. What's
Okay.
your third?
So my final one, again, could not be farther from I told you guys that my choices were not explicitly labeled BL or LGBT. It's the ones cuz like okay, so buddy daddies it's implied, but it's more than subtext. Like buddy daddies if you watch you're like, yeah, they're partners
Yeah,
like
super
for
gay.
sure, right? Moriarty the Patriot. You can watch it and not feel like that, but it's really hard to miss the chemistry between Liam and Sherlock. And so that's kind of like with this, my final recommendation. And I'm not done with this one, like with Jenna with Cherry Magic. I'm not done with this one yet. But I recommend Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch for Mercury. And it's a female lead Gundam anime. Um, and you're like, what? A Gundam? How can that be gay? Well, just listen. Like, it's
Listen up, folks. Sit
listen here.
back.
So the premise is in this era, Gundams are actually illegal. Um, and the main character, Suletta Mercury, has one, but she doesn't know that that's what it is. And she ends up at this school, um, the school that she's been wanting to go to. Her mom wanted to send her to this school. And she meets Miorine, who is the daughter of the president who's like runs this conglomerate of technology companies that like run the galaxy pretty much. Um, and the rule at this school is if you hold this position of the holder where like you win all of these duels in your mobile suit, you are betrothed to Miorine. Like you are Miorine's fiance. Well, Miorine is being picked on by someone and is like, I forgot exactly how it goes, but basically, Suletta ends up winning the duel and is now engaged to Miorine. And throughout the series, they don't call each other friends. It's, I'm going to support my bride. I'm going to support my groom. I am your bridegroom. I am here to support you. I believe in your dreams, all of this stuff, X, Y, and Z. And so it's kind of hard to miss in this one. And the ending credits as well, like the ending sequences are beautiful, but it very much like puts these two like their relationship at like the forefront of the story, and it's really good. I grew up, my dad like built Gundams, like I remember like seeing cool models, and so it's also kind of fun to like watch an anime of like, oh yeah, I remember we used to like have model mobile suits at home. Like, but also the story with these two is really well done, and there's a lot of angst and misunderstandings. You know, they are teenagers, you know, they're 16, you know, and there's a lot of like bad things happening. It's testing their relationship and stuff, but it's really really good. I only have like 6 episodes left.
And there's only one season, right?
Um, there are 24 episodes. Um, and at the end of episode 12, it said something about like continuing in season 2, but if you're watching it on Crunchyroll, it's all just one episode. So it might have like come out just in parts. So,
Yeah, I have never watched a Gundam before unless you count, like, Power Rangers. I don't know, does that count when I was a
no,
kid?
that is
No.
completely different.
I just know they're big robots, like, I don't know. I really have never watched like, I've never gotten into that subgenre, I guess you could call it. Um, but when Maddie told me about this one, I was like, "Guess my first show is gonna be about the gays."
The lesbian Gundam show.
Yes, as I like to refer to it, the gaydom, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it sounds a lot really fun, and, I do think that, the genre sometimes is, the queer genre in anime is, really populated by BL, like, that's really a lot of it, so it's nice to see the female like, and it's a new one, so, like, a new current female love story, which is really nice. I mean, I know that there are, GLs out there, but they just don't ever seem to really gain that momentum. So I like to hear that.
Yeah, and I like female-led stories because it's very difficult to find those, you know, they're more popular now, which is nice. Like we're seeing more of like the strong female characters, that are not like overly sexualized either. So this one it's really good. It's I say it's fun, but then you have to be ready for heartbreak. So, yeah.
Right. And of course we can't discuss, this genre without the honorable mention of Skate, and I would like to throw in the honorable mention of Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh my lord. Jenna did this in the
I
last
will
video too with the manga. She was like, "I'm gonna say Jujutsu Kaisen's a BL," and I'm like, "Well, you know, yeah, it's
listen,
pretty gay."
the whole entire plot happened because 2 gay teens got hate crimed. That's the whole entire plot of Jujutsu Kaisen.
You're not
We all
wrong.
know it. I'm not wrong.
Yeah. And Skate the Infinity, Jenna was like, "You put Skate the Infinity on your list, right?" And I was like, "No, because we have like 15,000 videos about Skate the Infinity. We don't need to
But stay
if
tuned
you
because there will be
there will be
15,001.
more." Yeah.
Oh, but
And
it
then
has
when
to it
season
it must be said.
Yeah, and then when season 2 comes out, we'll have even more videos, so we won't,
And the
you know,
OVA, yeah.
yeah, we won't dive into it here.
Yes. I love when you go to Barnes& and Noble and they have, like, the little, summaries, like, off the, staff
Yeah,
summaries
yeah,
of the
yeah.
manga. That would be, like, my JJK one. It would be, like, 2 gay teens get hate crimed by a hobo. Like, that would be my summary.
And it just launches the string of catastrophically terrible events.
Yeah, yeah. But, yeah, we this is, I think this is a solid list. So, I actually wanna watch the ones that you have on your list that I have not seen yet.
Yes, as you should.
Oh, as I should.
Yeah. And if you guys have any more recommendations, I mean, we only gave 3 each. There are lots of queer, you know, anime out there or have queer subtext or something, you know. Leave them in the comments, you know, let us know and then we can chat about them together.
Yeah, I mean, we could always do a part 2 because I had to whittle my list down when I was making this because there are, quite a few that are over like BL and overtly, but then like Maddie's, a lot on Maddie's list there are many that are subtext. So this could always be a heart too. So maybe in the future.
Yeah, for sure. And then make sure to subscribe to our channel so that we don't miss out on any of our mayhem or any of these videos. As we discuss more anime and manga, other, things from pop culture as we get chaotic up in here.
Oh yeah. And happy Pride Month.
Yes, shout out to the gays.
The gays.